everybody. I'm Charlie's dad, Bob. Charlie's mom, Becky, and I are just so delighted to be on this occasion that this day has finally arrived. This is Charlie and Nancy's big day, and we are just so excited. We are extremely pleased that so many of the Gottwald and Hart clans have been able to come to show their love and support for this wonderful couple. I have the double honor of being asked by my son to be his best man. So, you know, I couldn't be more honored. Thank you. But I'm going to hold my fire on that subject until dessert. Right now, I want to thank Nancy's mom and dad, Bruce and Kim, for reaching out to Becky and me over the past year and so warmly welcoming the two of us and my wife Bonnie into their very large and intimate and just extremely impressive circle of friends and family. We've been especially pleased to meet Nancy's grandparents, Bruce Sr., Nancy Sr., and Billy Clifton. Yeah. Nancy's mom and dad and their grandparents have so much to be proud of in their lovely Nancy, and we gladly welcome them into the Hart family circle. For a few more words of welcome, I now would like to turn it over to the one who's really kept Charlie's nose to the grindstone through thick and thin, his mom, Becky.
Thank you. Contrary to my usual characteristics, I'm going to keep this short. But I just, again, Bob's comments, thank you all so much for having us, for welcoming Charlie into your family. We have loved getting to know Nancy over the past number of years. They've come through many great times and to get to this point. And Kim, Bruce, Nancy Sr., Bruce Sr. So anyway, I just really want to thank you, and it's just a wonderful weekend, and we couldn't be happier for both of them. Thank you.
I'm Bonnie O'Day. I'm Bob's wife, and I got to know Charlie when he was about 14. And one of the memories that I have was when we went to visit Bob's mother in Massachusetts. And Charlie's dad always wants to make sure that people learn something. And at this particular time, Charlie was the teacher. We were having lunch at Bob's mother's country club, and it was about 100 degrees in the shade. And Charlie was, of course, as 15-year-olds are, embarrassed to be with us. But it was about 110 or so, and Bob decided it was time for me to learn a little bit about golf. Now, I'm a Minnesota girl. We don't have a lot of nice weather to play golf up there, so Charlie was supposed to teach me. We were on the course, and he showed me how to do the golf swing, and we came back up off the course, and his mother said, "Charlie, you gave her that club with the head pointed backwards." So Charlie, I know, has had other frustrating times playing golf, but now I understand he's pretty accomplished. So I'm going to offer this golfer's prayer in his honor and in the honor of all the other people in this room who play golf. So here it is, the golfer's prayer. Almighty God, as we play through our 18 holes of life, we pray that you will give us a drive that's both long enough to reach our goals and straight enough to keep us out of trouble. Help us to be willing to stand by and not play through those in greatest need. May we always play with honor. And finally, when we've putted out on the 18th green, we pray that we will have demonstrated the integrity of our character so that you will judge us worthy enough to join your threesome and play eternally on your heavenly course. So, O Lord, on behalf of all of us and golfers everywhere, in Jesus' name we ask that you bless this food. Amen.
My reputation precedes me. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Hart Gottwald Rehearsal Dinner. I'm honored to be your master of ceremonies. My name is Toby Desch, and we're in for a doozy of an evening. I've been informed a few business notes. The air is as low as it can go, so for the women here, I'm sorry, but I hope you applied deodorant. And for the everybody else, they're going to continue to serve dinner throughout these toasts, so we're going to keep on doing that. But so first, we are going to hear from Charlie's father, Bob.
Thank you, and hello again. Okay, so I'm going to start out. Many who have the honor of being best man can say they go back to having fond memories of the groom when they met in high school or in elementary school. I have the distinct and sometimes very dubious honor of knowing Charlie from day one. I've had the pleasure of changing his diapers, burping him, being spit up upon, and even at times being peed upon. I do want to be careful not to embarrass Charlie, because I can recall a few occasions when I have embarrassed him, and I know he'll get his revenge on me. I'll just tell you about one day that I think reveals how Charlie and I faced a challenge that we both learned and grew from, and it also reveals Nancy's very positive influence. When Charlie was about 10 years old, I wanted to expose he and Sister Jordan to some cultural activities when they were staying with me in D.C. Sister Jordan was always willing to sample new things, but Charlie was a stick in the mud. Whether it was trying to eat something, get him to eat something other than chicken tenders, or going to one of the museums on the National Mall, it just wasn't working. Now, this time of year, there is an annual event called the Smithsonian Folklife Festival, and some of you may have heard of it. It's on the National Mall, and it's attended by thousands of people. I thought it would have plenty of variety, so even a 10-year-old boy might find it worth his time. As usual, Charlie and I did not see eye to eye on this idea. And it did take some mediation from Sister Jordan to get him out the door. Now, I've blanked out on all the outdoor exhibits we visited, but at one point, I was taking them toward a tent with some kind of ethnic handicrafts or food of some kind, when Charlie just sat down under a big shade tree and refused to move. And of course, it became a contest of wills. And despite Jordan's attempt at mediation and the three of us taking a break under that shade tree, Charlie boy would not budge. Finally, I told Charlie to stay put and wait while Jordan and I went into a tent about 20 yards away. Of course, when we returned at about 10 minutes, there was no Charlie under that tree. Just thousands of people surrounding us on the huge expense of the National Mall. Now, to this day, I've never felt the sense of parental panic and guilt that I did at that moment. I think I aged 20 years in 5 minutes, and I know I sprouted a few gray hairs. Before facing the prospect of calling Becky and telling her that I put out an all-points Amber Alert for Charlie in our nation's capital, Providence took mercy upon me because one of the National Park Rangers on horseback to whom we gave our missing persons report found Charlie about 75 yards away watching a polo match demonstration. Now, the only thing I remember about that, after that, is just thanking God in heaven and getting the 3 of us back home without further incident. Now, when Bonnie came into my life a few years later, Charlie would often assure both of us he had absolutely no interest in different kinds of food, museums, or other cultural activities. But then one day we were visiting Fredericksburg and eating out on Easter weekend, and Charlie decided to try lobster rather than his usual chicken tenders. Bonnie and I, of course, were shocked. It wasn't too long after that we learned about Nancy and saw Charlie begin to blossom into the cultural icon that he is today. Parents like to think we have planted some seeds that will eventually sprout, but it really took the influence of Nancy to make it all come together for Charlie Boy. Now, as I ask everybody to charge their glasses and prepare to do a toast, I'm going to do it in just a second. I have one last bit of fatherly and best man advice for both Charlie and Nancy. You two are about to embark on a new chapter in your lives, one in which you have the opportunity to write your own joyful story together. This is not your father's script or your mother's script or the script that your best man and friends want to write for you, but it is one that can draw upon the examples that your family and friends have shown you through their commitment to their own families and the communities that have nurtured them. It is a unique story that only you two can create together, and I know that you'll seize the opportunity to write a real spellbinder. So everyone, please join me in raising your glasses and wishing Charlie all the health and happiness on the next great chapter of their lives. They're here.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Bruce Gottwald, the lucky father of the bride, Nancy. No, I'm not going to sing for you. And the soon-to-be father-in-law. Again, thank you for all being here. And I especially want to thank our hosts, Becky, Bonnie, and Bob. Terrific night. This is one we've been waiting for a long time. I may look like I'm the one in charge here, but I'm not. I produced 3 pages of what I want to do as far as a toast, and Nanny has told me that's way too long, so I'll try to make this go a little bit quick. First of all, Nancy and Charlie, look around you. Can everybody hear me? You're surrounded by loved ones. Live in the moment. Take this moment and always remember it for the future. It doesn't get any better than this. Is my gang, and they hate to use that word gang, knows. Gang. I've kept a scrapbook of all my children, and I don't keep scrapbooks to use as material for these kind of things, but I really do have a lot of fun things in there and a few things that I can share with you, especially Charlie, that may give you a little added insight into Nancy and may help in the marriage coming ahead. I apologize, but I want to get this right, so I'm going to read all these, and there's some funny ones. First date, September 1999. When I asked Nancy how it went the first night at Cotillion, she replied, "Okay, but I danced with a boy who had cheap cologne." And I asked her, "How do you know it was cheap cologne?" I can't make this up. This is all in the scrapbook. And she replied, "Because it got on my gloves and made me stink." Next entry, January 2000. Thomas and Daniel were over at our house visiting. I was in the room next to you when I heard Thomas ask you how you go about asking a girl out. You proceeded to politely tell him not to be nervous and don't take too long when you talk to her. And I could hear Daniel in the other room really laughing at that. This one goes back even earlier, and I don't have a date on it. This was on a combined field trip with St. Christopher's to the Richmond Metro Zoo, and I'm glad I'm looking right at Janie because she was part of this. I was one of the parents who drove, and these are all my entries, so I apologize, but I'm going to read them. We sat down to hear a presentation, and all of a sudden this boy appears with a bouquet of roses and a love note. I thought Janie was going to die laughing, and you started to cry. I wish I still had that note, and I had to hold back from laughing when I explained to you that this was a very nice thing that this boy had done for you, and I'm sure you really didn't think so. December 2004. I found a note left for me, and it says, "Bruce, please gently wake your eldest child at 6:30 a.m. sharp. Gracias." We're on page 2 now. June 2005, in a typed letter to me, I offer some excerpts. "Sorry I've not talked to you all yet. The hostel is a dump." This is their trip overseas. "It is worse than the Super 8 and Culpeper, and Bob will appreciate that. Our group is clueless, consists of all stupid boys. Getting on the metro was confusing. I got left when everyone got off on our next stop. It was so scary I started to cry, but then this French woman took me under her wing and helped me get off. Thank God for that woman, and thank God for my husband, Julia. My group would have left me, but Julia started bawling and made them wait. We got back on the metro, but had no idea where our dump hostel was. We circled Notre Dame twice, luggage and all, before Julia started flipping out, and I made the decision to ditch the group, and so we got a taxi to our unsanitary hotel." And this is one of my all-time favorites. Nancy's teacher, and I think it was Miss Houston, asked everyone to write down what they wanted to be when they grow up. The teacher gathered the cards and began to read to the class what you might expect: doctor, lawyer, etc., nurse. Nancy's, however, read a mommy. Full effect. July 2011, and I love this one. "Dear Dad, thanks so much for a great weekend. Keswick was so much fun. It was really nice being with the entire family. I think everyone had a really nice time being all together. And thank you for having Charlie. I know he also had a great time. Love, Nancy." Charlie, here we are, back at Keswick, 5 years later. From the early memories and letters in the scrapbook, by now you've already figured it out. Don't wear cheap cologne. Never be nervous around a girl. When you bring Nancy flowers and a note, stick around so she won't cry. Gently wake her in the morning. Never go anywhere without knowing where you're going in advance, and most of all, know that you're marrying the most wonderful, caring, loving lady in the world who also happens to want to be a mommy. And on a serious and more final note, always remember that the love that brought you two together, your marriage, is the center of your relationship. Keep that foundation and focal point solid, and always work on the habit of giving, loving, serving, and praising. And your best example is right in front of you, Nanny and Big B. And I'll end up in with one of my favorites. May you always walk in sunshine, slumber warm when the night winds blow. May you always live with laughter, for a smile becomes you so. May good fortune find your doorway, and may the bluebird sing your song. May no trouble travel your way, may no worry stay too long. May your heartaches be forgotten, may no tears be spilled. May old acquaintances be remembered, and your cup of kindness fill. And may you always be a dreamer, may your every dream come true. May you find someone to love you as much as I love you. And I'll end with Nancy has found that love since day one. Charlie, we welcome you into our family and love you both. To the happy couple, to Nancy and Charlie.
All right, folks, welcome back. I'm happy to still be with you. We are going to lead this off with a toast from Nancy's grandfather, Big B.
My biggest problem is I don't take notes as I go along. And the older I get, the shorter my memory gets. But we have grown to love these two folks who are about to get married. And we have the highest regard for them. They have been very kind to us old folks. And I just wish you all the very, very, very best.
Now we are going to start with the toast for the evening, and how we're going to do this is, well, you raise your hand and I'm going to give you the mic. Now, just remember here that we've got a party to go to here that started 5 minutes ago, so if everyone wants to speak, we're going to be here all night. So, and I might give you the hook. So the first person up is going to be Charlie's sister, Jordan.
As most of you all know, Becky is finally moving back to Richmond after being in North Carolina. While we're all a little apprehensive about how this may change our daily life and how many times she may be in the neighborhood, we are all so happy to have her back home. Growing up with Charlie by my side had to think about this for a long time, the right adjective, eventful. However, whatever we did together, he always kept me laughing. Our neighborhood was full of boys, therefore my only option was to play with Charlie's friends. And even being the only girl, Charlie never let me win. Charlie has a very competitive side, as do I, which resulted in many fights on the basketball court. Baseball has also played a huge role in our family. We spent many summer nights at the baseball field celebrating his numerous home runs. Big body, 44. 44. Numerous. Yeah. Being competitive has its benefits, though. Charlie never gives up on things that he sets his mind to. During Charlie and Nancy's 6-year relationship, he never gave up on a future with her. Dating in your early 20s can be challenging. Let's be real, becoming an adult is not always as glamorous as we thought it would be while we were waiting to grow up. Another quality of Charlie's is loyalty. Loyalty to his family, friends, and above everything else, Nancy. He has always put her first, and I've watched their love only grow stronger, which brings us here to this wonderful weekend. Charlie has become such a loving addition to the Gottwald family. It didn't take long for them all to fall in love with his charming personality and amazing hair. Over the years, many times he has expressed to me how much he has enjoyed being able to be a part of Nancy's family, watching his sisters grow up, hunting with her brothers and dad, and celebrating all of the family accomplishments. He loves you all, and you are so lucky to now call him family. One of my favorite characteristics of Nancy is also loyalty. Being the oldest of 6 comes with a lot of responsibility, and I can see how much you mean to all of your family. You are so thoughtful and fun to be around. I have enjoyed getting to know you and watching how happy you both make each other. Tomorrow starts a new chapter, and I couldn't be more excited for y'all. I think what I'm most looking forward to celebrating this weekend is all of the future times to come and joining of our families. We are all so lucky to be healthy and have families that love and support us. Jason and I are so proud of you and are thrilled as you start your life as a married couple tomorrow. Cheers.
I'm Ryan Butler, friends with Charlie for a long time, actually since 6th grade. Didn't really know him before then, but we were in homeroom together. He got in trouble one time, and the teacher drew a big circle on the board and made him stand with his nose on the chalkboard for about 45 minutes. And from then on, I knew I was going to be friends with him. Things I shared with him, first time I got drunk at your house, Becky. First time I played Edward 40 Hands, also Charlie. But just wanted to share a little story. Our friends like to give each other a hard time all the time. Tyler, Ross, and all you guys. And, Charlie Freeman rebels till the day we die. But I went into Peter Blair the other day to get my jacket fitted. And he said, "Oh, how do you know the groom?" And I said, "Oh, we went to high school together." He followed it with, "Oh, you went to St. Chris?" It's funny for all of us over here. Shout out to Table 2. Let's get this party charted.
Those of y'all who don't know me, I'm Caroline. I'm Nancy's closest sister by age. I'm just kidding. Nancy's probably terrified right now about what's about to be said. She has spent the bulk of her 28 years on this planet scheming up ways to terrify, harass, and prank all of us in this room. And now I finally have the floor, and it's my turn to crush you, Nancy. For all of us. I'm totally just kidding. I'm not going to do that to you. I actually just have a letter for Charlie. Dear Charlie, while you've basically been a part of this family for a while now, and I'm so excited for you to make it official tomorrow, as your almost oldest sister-in-law, there are some things about Nancy's childhood that I feel bound by duty to divulge, and also some things that you may not realize you're signing up for. To prepare you for a lifetime of Nancy, I've put together a survival kit for you. Charlie's survival kit. Item number 1, a man cave in Nellie George. Item number 2, a one-way ticket from Orlando to Richmond, because you'll be going to Disney World a lot. Item number 3, a veterinarian license and the names of the best carpet cleaner and pest groomer in town. You will never share your home with just Nancy, so even though you may think your house is already full with the beloved and famous Nellie and George, the French Bulldogs, be prepared for your house to grow by a lot. And I apologize to everyone because this may drag on for a second, but I feel it's important to share with Charlie the extent of Nancy's love of animals. So that he may know that what he's truly is getting himself into, I've put together a list of some of the animals that Nancy has loved over the years. Kissy, Lovey, and Dottie, the King Charles Cavaliers. Sadie, the sheepdog. Romeo and Juliet, the rabbits. Nicholas and Alexandra, the lovebirds. Pinky, the hedgehog, who was pregnant when Nancy got her. And Pinky ate all of her babies except for one baby. And so Nancy named that one Lucky. Buddy the tree frog, Cha-Cha the chicken, and Manly the duck. Shout out to Eugenie. Tiger and Tigger the Bengal cats. Lady and Max the guinea pigs. Louie the Maltese. Pie the hound dog. Her horses, Ty, Anna, Dudley, Bart, Rudy, and Gump. Dewey the yellow lab. Layla Grace the white cat. And Henry the black cat. All right. Item number 4 for Charlie. A packet full of multicolored robe ties. So this is going to sound confusing at first, but so today, Nancy's quite the stylish one. She's always looks amazing. You can usually find her wearing a long flowy dress with beautiful big earrings. She used to not always be like that. if you had met Nancy back in the day, say in lower school, you'd find her wearing long khaki shorts, a green baby G watch, her hair slicked back and tied into a ponytail, probably under a baseball cap that was either Disney or Star Wars themed. So while her fashion has changed over the years, one thing about her fashion choices that has never changed and stayed consistent since she was born is her love of robes. So don't be alarmed to find Nancy on any day, any time of day, rocking a robe. But not only is she going to be wearing the robe, it's never going to be with the right tie. It's going to be from a different robe. Item number 5, noise-canceling headphones for holidays and vacations with my family, which I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Number 6, dance lessons for Nancy. I know you've gotten some glimpses of Nancy's true dance moves on a couple of occasions, but growing up, her moves were so famous, they earned her the nickname Bethany. Among all the cousins and siblings, I never knew her body could make those moves, but they just can. So you may need some lessons someday if she ever gets the urge to break out into Mary Catherine Gallagher dance pose from the film Superstar. Item number 7, the video of Nancy dancing to NSYNC's Bye 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 that she thinks she deleted forever. Most of y'all know which video I'm talking about, but she didn't. Charlie, this is your collateral. This is a lifetime collateral for you. Most of you in this room have been the butt of one of Nancy's jokes or pranks at some point, and if you haven't, then you're lucky, and take this as a future warning. Nancy loves a good prank. The first prank I ever remember Nancy doing to me was in lower school, and I got to the cafeteria at school, excited to eat the lunch I'd spent a long time packing the night before, and I opened my lunch box to find just a jar of baby food, and that was it. In high school, she put a dead squid in the gas tank of my car. A few weeks later, after having my car cleaned several times, we finally found the squid. And up until last year, when the car finally died, the smell of squid was still lingering. The one time when I was trying to remember all the pranking that she did, that I actually went up to her, was actually the first time my mom, Kimmy, and Lily met Charlie. And I slyly planned this, but we were at the tavern eating lunch. It was me, Charlie, Nancy, and I, and some of our friends. And my mom, Kimmy, and Lily made a surprise appearance, and that was the first time Charlie had met Nancy, because for a long time, Nancy was scared to bring Charlie around for fear of what the siblings might do or say to him. But anyways, growing up, Nancy has always been the prankster. She's always been the orchestrator, the one behind the scenes watching us as she convinced the siblings or her friends to ring and run or prank phone call someone. So Charlie, just know if you ever put up anything embarrassing of Nancy, say on social media, you better be scared, because she will fire back at you 50 times stronger. So, Charlie, well, I've given you a list of things that I feel you will most definitely need to survive with Nancy. There are also some things that you won't ever need after tomorrow, because Nancy will have these covered. Item number 1, and that's fashion, which clearly she's already rubbed off on the men in her life, seen by you and Toby with the pastel colors. Constant entertainment, great pranking ideas, and number 1 would be loyalty. Nancy's like the most loyal person I know, and despite her sometimes ridiculousness or constant pranking, she's the kind of person you want on your team, because be scared for the other team, because she will fire at you strong. But anyways, she will always have your back, no matter where Nancy and I were in our lives, whether it was in high school or I was in college and she was in Richmond. Whether or not we were in a fight and hadn't talked for a while, if there was an emergency or needed help, she was always the first person I called, because she would always be there. And that says a lot about the type of person, sister, daughter, friend, and future wife that she is. So Charlie and Nancy, I wish you all a lifetime of animals, robes, trips to Disney World, pranking, and I can't wait for all the memories to share with you all.
Okay, as y'all closest to me know, none of my life's been run off a script. So I'm not going to sit here with a piece of paper in front of me that I took about a week and I texted all my siblings about on advice on what to say. I know what I need to say. You're my favorite sister. Odd one. Wink, wink, Lily. Seriously, though, before I get started, I'm so grateful for Nanny and Big B and Billy. Thank you, Terry and Doug, for bringing them up here. It just wouldn't be how it is without them. So every wedding they make makes that wedding that much better. I say, pass to them, okay. Nancy, being leader of the gang that Bruce started, it all started Christmas Eve. We would pile in Nancy's room, all asleep in her bed, waiting on Christmas, waiting on Kimmy and Louie to figure out what they thought about Santa. If he was nice or mean, whether they deserved the coal they got, blah, blah, blah. Either way, Nancy was always captain of the gang. And going from there, I'd say that I've always loved to have a good time. Party's my favorite part of the night. And Nancy, if anything, taught me how to throw a real party. Starting with the first annual Christmas black tie party. For the first party I've ever attended, Wick Baruch, I don't know if you're in the room. Either way, he stuck me a White Russian because he thought my parents would think it was me drinking milk. Everyone knows how it went from there. It was a hell of a time, as always. Nancy throwing the best parties. So much fun. And then, I got older and I went through the awkward phase that Caroline tried to pin on Nancy, but everyone knows Caroline went through more than her. Tomboy. Seriously. And so I had a little problem in middle school where I didn't know what to wear. And I remember Nancy coming back home with a rainbow Lacoste polo. I'm not exactly sure where from, but ever since then I kind of hired her as my stylist. And as y'all know, Charlie and I, we look a little similar. So Nancy kind of dressed her husband after me. We don't need to do it who wore it best, because we're going to give this nod to Charlie, even though I probably did wear it best. I don't need to get into it, but either way, Nancy has really helped me. I wouldn't be here, Sarah wouldn't be here without Nancy. I'd probably be wearing what I wore to Daniel's wedding, which was a carry-on bag to Louisiana with a pair of khakis, a button-down polo, Ralph Lauren white button-down shirt, one tie, one winter jacket in the hot months of Louisiana. And to me, I had no problem doing that. It was fine to me. But everyone else was kind of like, is that what you wore last night? And yeah, it was, So either way, I've had Nancy I'm not necessarily colorblind, but I can't mix and match colors. And without Nancy, I wouldn't be sitting up here looking as fly as I do. No chance I'd ever have someone like Sarah here. No way. I'd probably be sitting cracking jokes, making fun of B like I always do. That's because I love him so much. Either way, Nancy kind of set the tone, being head of the gang, as Bruce would say. I have no song for you tonight. I think that's kind of been something that, after Daniel and Martha's wedding, people expect from me. But that's all improv, and like I say, my wife has not been on a script, and so I'm not going to scribe y'all, whatever the word is. Sorry. I'm not going to write y'all down a script to get all my thoughts out. This is all coming out one by one. And, Nancy's really set the bar as far as being a cool sister. The parties she used to throw, and she can always bring it back. She has a gear that she can go back into. She's toned it down, but there's always a few times where Nancy brings it back out, and she'll always have it in her. And that's why I love Nancy, and that's why I've always appreciated the way she goes about life. And You know, she's got Nellie and George, who are her substitutes as children. And I know that when Nancy and Charlie leave on Sunday, Charlie, you better be ready for her. You better be expecting. It's surprising that it's taken this long, and I think she just uses Nellie and George to, you know, hold off the time until she can really have a kid. Because I don't need to say anything more to describe how much I love Nancy and Charlie. I love y'all.
There were never such never had to have a chaperone. I can keep my eye on her, caring, sharing every little thing that we are wearing. When a certain gentleman she wore the dress and I stayed home. All through the weather, we stick together, even in the rain or sun. Two different faces, but in the tight spaces, we think that we act as one. Those who seen us know that I think come between us. Many men have tried to come between us. But no one can. Lord help the mister who comes between me and my sister. And Lord help the mister who comes between me and my marriage. Hi everyone, I'm Lily, Nancy's youngest and favorite sister. Believe it or not, Nancy's twice my age, so aside from our sisterly bond, she's established a sort of motherly bond with me as well. From sharing my location with her whenever I go out, to calling me frequently throughout the day, I can't say I'd love actually having her as a mother, but I also can't say I'd be the person I am today if she hadn't played as big of a role in my life as she has, and I'm forever grateful for her because of that and so much more. Okay, enough about Nancy. I think it was their second year dating when Charlie and I drove up to Chapel Hill and heard on the radio this guy Chester who wouldn't stop calling people brother, which for some reason Charlie and I thought was really funny. Ever since then, my contact for Charlie has been Chester Brother Hart. I don't think Charlie really needs an introduction to the family because he's already like a brother to me and everyone else. Nancy and Charlie, I'm so happy for y'all and love you guys so much. You've both done so much for me, and I can't thank y'all enough. I hope y'all have so much fun this weekend.
Okay, I'm Kimmy, the other sister. After the painfully saying words by me and Lily, I would just like to add a few more. Nancy's not only my oldest sister, but she's also like my second mom. She's always there for school events, whether it's an art show, fair, graduation, or something horse-related, of course. If she's not actually there in person, she will call you until you answer, literally. However, despite Nancy being 10 years older than me, she easily fits in with my group of friends. You could say she has no problem fitting in with the high school scene, even now. I'll constantly look over and see my best friends texting her acting like it's completely normal, even though it bothers me. One of my favorite yet traumatizing memories I have of Nancy goes like this. I was 10 years old and taking a bath when she walked in the bathroom and asked if I wanted to go get my ears pierced with her. Keep in mind, Nancy was 20 years old at the time. Obviously, I agreed, and we went to Regency Mall and had them done together. This memory is traumatizing too because my mom had no idea this was happening. And let's just say she was not happy with either of us. However, this just shows how Nancy keeps things exciting, always, despite the repercussions and consequences. We're so lucky to have had her fashion sense in middle school and high school, so that we avoid the questionable outfit choices that Nancy and Caroline chose to wear when they were our age. Shout out to Nellie George, thank you. Nancy and I share the same love for animals, and I can always count on her to go buy, rescue, or adopt any sort of animal with me, no matter what kind they are, however many legs. A holiday or birthday doesn't go by without me expecting or hoping for an animal from Nancy. Charlie, also referred to as Chester, Chaz, brother, Char, dad, or Poppy, sometimes. Ever since the first day I met you, like Caroline said, the first time me, my mom, and Lily bombarded y'all at the tavern, you've naturally fit into our family, and I don't think anyone here knows that obviously you are part of our family and came to it quite easily, so I'm happy to officially welcome you tomorrow.
So a lot of this is going to echo what they already said. And Hayes, I apologize for reading from a script. Nancy, Charlie, I can't tell you how happy I am for the two of you. And Charlie, you definitely have your hands full. Being the oldest of 6 kids, Nancy's always been our leader and someone we've looked up to. And someone we've just like grown up being tricked on. And she's always used it to her advantage, being the oldest. As many of you know, Nancy always played tricks on us, and I could probably stand up here and all night and tell you about the tricks she played on us. Whether it be dressing Hayes and I up in women's clothing and dressing us up in makeup and taking pictures of us and sending them to all of our friends. Or most recently, the haircut picture, where I'm sure most of you have seen. Daniel, I know you got your hands on that. That was about 6 years, 3 chins, and 50 pounds ago. Or most recently, the pictures of the child modeling pictures, which my mom somehow thought it would be okay to make us do that. Nancy got her hands on those and sent them out to all of our friends and girlfriends, and needless to say, everyone has them forever. Having said that, we've always kept Nancy on her toes. First thing that comes to mind would be Hayes top shelving her toilet, or or Hayes and I.
Where heard that from?
Daniel. Or me and Hayes and Ted filling up all of our sisters, including Nancy's hair dryers with baby powder, so when they hop out of the shower, they're immediately filled with baby powder to the face. Nancy, you deserved it. Or Hayes and I catching Nancy for having parties, which he told y'all all about, with the trail camera, which famously caught Chris Barnes on camera escaping from one of our parties. But the common theme here is when we've messed with Nancy, she's always been usually the one to clean up our mess or take the blame for us. One of the things I remember most, and I'm sure Nancy remembers this, my mom and dad were out of town. We thought it was a good idea. I think it was me, Hayes, Chase, Sam, and Ted. We got bored enough on a Sunday to start kicking footballs over the fence on Soulgrave into cars that were driving around. Eventually, we hit the wrong guy. He got pretty mad. He chased us through the house. Eventually, we all retreated down to the James River. And meanwhile, Nancy's babysitting all of us. He ends up finding Nancy, who, like Caroline mentioned, more often than not, is in a bathrobe, taking a bath. Anyways, he chews Nancy out for having such horrible kids who broke his windshield, which I still doubt that happened. Anyways, Nancy comes sprinting down the field, screaming and yelling at us in a robe, which I don't think had a matching thing around it, Caroline. And which is a very common theme in our family. Hayes made me take the blame. So I walked up the hill and got chewed out by Nancy and suffered the wrath of Nancy until our parents came home. But my point is that Nancy's always been the one to deal there with our mess, and it's always been a role model for us. And Charlie, you're in for a fun and exciting ride. And if she loves you as much as she loves her dogs, you should do just fine.
Basically, I remember when you two met each other, and Charlie and I used to live together on Monument. He's like, I met this really nice girl, you know. She said like the best thing to me ever, and I was like, what could you possibly say that like piques Charlie's interest? You know what I mean? Like, what could you possibly say? He's like, it was from Joe Dirt. And so, little backstory for like 6 years or 7 years, all Charlie did for Halloween every year was the same costume, and for every NASCAR race. It was a blonde mullet with cut-off jeans and cut-off shirt that said, born to party, forced to work. And so, yeah, he got it from Kmart, and he was in the Joe Dirt section. And so, he met this wonderful girl that dropped this Joe Dirt line on him, and he was like, "This is the one." And so, to keep it short, like my brother asked, a few words for your marriage. You got to keep on keeping on. Life's a garden. Dig it. You make it work for you. You never give up. And I know you two won't give up on each other. And I love you both. Let's have a great weekend.
Hi, my name's Sashi, and this is Janie, and we are very, very, very honored to speak on behalf of Margaret, Ashton, and Eugenie, and the two of us. First of all, we'd really like to thank both Nancy and Charlie's parents. Going to a wedding is special in the first place, but being a part of it and being invited to Friday night just really takes it to a new level, and we couldn't be more honored to be here and be with y'all and meet everybody that we don't know, and it's just really special. Beyond that, the five of us have known Nancy for, as Janie's mom pointed out, almost 3 decades. That's 30 years, Nancy. And so we've had this group chat between the five of us, behind your back, going on for about a week. And you can imagine girls who meet each other at age 1, 2, 3, or 4 turn out to be really different and really different opinions. And so we will share the Google Docs with y'all later to see the poems and the songs and everything we came up with that we will spare you all from tonight. But we all care so much about Nancy and Charlie, and we realized that a few themes emerged from everything we talked about in our plans that changed 1,000 times. And the first thing is about Nancy that makes her character so strong in a friendship, and why we're so grateful to be her friend, is that Nancy has literally always been down for a good time. And I don't really need to expand beyond that between what everybody has said, but it just goes back to blasting Love Shack in the back of the Suburban, and then, blasting 90s music and Six Cubs, and Eugenie recalled getting sent home from their house when she was younger for racking up a bill with Miss Cleo, who never called y'all back. She's the most fun to be around. And if you want to have a good time, you want Nancy around you. Second of all, which people haven't touched on as much, which is exciting, is, excuse my language, but Nancy's a badass. And she has gone on the most exciting adventures, and she puts herself out there. Although she's a homebody, the things she's done in her life and has challenged herself to do are so impressive, and we all strive to be more like that every day. Third, is I'm pretty sure everybody has said this so far, but the loyalty piece. People are pretty afraid to date us because you don't know what's going to happen if you break up with one of us because you don't know what Nancy's going to do. You know? She is the most loyal friend any of us know. And to be in Nancy's core group means to be cared for your whole life. It's like the feeling of when you get a big hug. And that feeling never goes away, no matter how recently or how long ago it was that you last spoke. So Charlie, you're so lucky to marry our best friend Nancy. And we wish you just a lifetime of having fun, going on amazing adventures, and you have the most loyal partner that you could have ever asked for.
As Katharine Hepburn said, love has nothing to do with what you are expecting to get, only with what you're expecting to give, which is everything. Charlie, you have given us everything. For our best friend to now have a new best friend, and for you to take the time to know and love all of us, means so much to us. Will, as we said to you when our Margaret got married, we can't wait to spend the rest of our lives together. Cheers.
This really is one of my least favorite people at this party. Is this guy?
I'm going to say just a few things. It was like a month and a half ago, and my mom called me on Mother's Day. She was like, hey, thanks so much for coming over today. And I said, yeah, it was a good day. And she goes, I really just wanted to tell you, Charlie's texting me every day on Mother's Day the last 8 to 10 years. And I thought that was something really special, and it meant a lot to me. And I think the big thing is that Charlie means so much to all of us, but I also think he means so much to all of our families. And I think, Nancy, it's weird because we never thought Charlie could be better, but he's actually better with you. So thank you all so much.
All right, so I'm Ann. And I'm Beth. And we're Nancy's college friends, so to speak.
We both met Nancy separately before college, but that's not where our story began.
The two of us decided to come back home to Richmond for Roanoke College, and we heard Nancy was moving back as well.
So we thought it would be a good idea to approach Nancy at a Kappa Sig party at Hampton Sydney, what we thought was our college, and ask her to live with us in Richmond.
Nancy gave us an awkward yeah, which if you know Nancy's awkward voice, that clearly meant no.
And then we didn't hear from her for a good 3 months. In the meantime, we stayed busy having fun in the fan with my high school friend Charlie and the rest of his Bruce gang.
Nancy finally caved and realized she was missing out on, oh gosh, okay, on all the fun that we now like to call the homegirls.
Soon after, Charlie and Nancy crossed paths. Thanks to us, Nancy and Charlie not only met, but now we're all standing here today.
It's been so special to watch two of our favorite people fall in love and just be our best friends. I mean, I can't believe this.
Anyway, we are both so happy for y'all, and we can't wait for all that the future holds. We love you both.
No, but Nancy really is probably one of my first real friends that I made kind of in my adult years, or once I got to college. And I had the privilege of living with Nancy for 2 years, and that's a real treat. And so I could share stories, but Nancy, the first night I met Nancy, it was a bad Wednesday night, and I ended up locked in myself in a bathroom at Curbside with no one there, and she still accepted to be my roommate. And so that really is how loyal Nancy is. And Nancy has stuck with me through thick and thin, and has looked after me and my dogs, and has always kind of been there for me in a way that I really look at as a sister. And honestly, one of the best things about Nancy now is Chaz. I consider Charlie really one of my good friends, and you both make each other so much better. It's an honor to kind of be here with you guys, and as you said, as you threw a golf ball past my head last weekend, it's about to get real, fellas.
Everybody kept asking me, are you nervous? Are you nervous? Honestly, I have not been nervous until everybody here started picking up the microphone. You don't know what somebody's going to say, and then you know your time's coming. First, I want to thank my parents, Nancy's parents, Nancy's grandparents. This weekend is something we will all remember for the rest of our life. It's something that has been 14 months in the making, and honestly, it's going to be really special starting with tonight. So thank you guys all for everything that you've done and how you support us. So thank you. There's so many things that I want to say that it's tough to really remember, everything. And I probably will cry. You can hear it right now. I am emotional. A lot of people don't know that. I'm an emotional guy. Nancy knows that. I usually keep it together, but just seeing everybody in here. I mean, you guys really just mean so much to us. It is crazy. I mean, just seeing everybody in one room and just all the positive vibes and memories that just come back. We just appreciate you guys being here a ton. So thank you for making the trip and
thank you, Charlie.
Hey, Troy, you're the man. So thank you guys for making the trip and being here with us. There's so many things I could say about Nancy. I really honestly don't know where to begin. I'm not going to act like it was always perfect. We have had our ups and downs. There has been moments where, it's been tough like anybody else's relationship. But it's something that she is just so caring and positive and everything like that. You just really appreciate it and you learn to love somebody that much more when they're always there for you. Yeah. But just everything that she's, introduced to me and the dogs, Nellie and George, are literally like our children. And Dewey, rest in peace, Dewey. He was a wonderful dog. He was the best. It's just, like I said, there's just so much stuff I could say. I mean, I love you more than words can describe. I cannot wait for tomorrow. It will be the best day of our lives. I wish we could pause this whole thing right here and just replay it, every weekend. So this is recorded. Yeah, we'll relive it. We'll sing all the cut. But Nancy, I love you so much. I thank you for always sticking with me, and I cannot wait to be with you for the rest of my life. Cheers. And have a good time tonight. Have fun. Cheers.
Clouds are so cool.
And then you
Bye.